poem, you know, no, I would expect this a rhythm and poem. Now, okay, it was explained to me about the talking, that some of the poems are more flat, but so I'll practice that.
I feel that even his poems are lyrical, even the ones without music. And it's up to us to give the voice. Our voices can give it the lyrical feeling of it. Just because it rhymes, a lot of it rhymes, you know? And so I feel I hear the music in it too. I agree with you, Alan. I love it. I want to share with you before we get started and try to. Me and Alan are going to do a little experiment, but I'd like to introduce the others who are on. Is Mary McGatt and her daughter Wesley is here. Hello. And we have Judy. Judy's in Ohio. Okay, and we have Alan Kaufman, you might know from Story Space. He's all right, he's in Massachusetts. And Padar Murphy. Padar Murphy. He's here.
Heather,
Pather,
Heather,
Pather. I bet you don't say that after a couple of beers.
Patter,
Patter.
Patter, Patter.
Patter.
Plus, I saw
No,
Pather.
you were saying about where everybody is. Well, I'm in my dressing gown, and I I I'll be. It's 0. It's a.m. in Ireland now, and so I'm going to turn my video off shortly and listen, and then I'll drift away at some stage, either turn it off or just fall asleep.
But before you go, I want you to, because I don't think you had a chance to do it at our meeting at 2:00. And since Wesley and Marin are here, I would love for you to just do circumstances, alter cases for them, because I just love you to do that. And I'm just going to just like bother you every time you come to do circumstances. And have you heard it, Judy? Have you heard Mr. Murphy do circumstances, alter cases?
I believe he did it in the Story Crossroads workshop, yes?
Yes, he did for the first time, and it was so impressive.
I loved it. I would love to hear it again if you're willing before you nod off into the land of the leprechauns. I mean, come on, it's March.
That's right. That's right, Judy. So, okay, because I love to, Wesley, the young lady here, she was one of the students. We had a fun time. She taught me, I taught her, and we had a great time in the You Standing Strong storytelling workshop. And then Marin is a storyteller too. And so I really would love for you to, I don't think you've heard it, but we're at a page. I split the scene. Let me do the screen. Hold on, share screen. And so that you all can see, share sound, optimize for video clip. And then, come on, hold on. There we are. And then you'll see my screen and you'll be able to follow along with the words. I don't want to be minimized, but they minimized me. Hold on. Hold on. What did they do? I don't know why they minimized my screen. Anyone knows how that happened? Why did they minimize? So I want to see everybody too.
Yeah, but you can.
What?
Have you at your top, at the top?
Oh, there it is. I got you back. All right, now. Yeah, I want everybody to see everybody too, because I have to know if anybody comes on and things like that. So.
Well, would you like me to share mine?
Do you have, no, can you see it now? You can see my screen now.
Oh, yeah, I can, but okay.
Next time. Yeah, you can see my screen. I just want it on so I can tell if someone comes in the room, because I know some people are Jeopardy fans. And around this time, they're watching Jeopardy until 7:30. So I'm expecting maybe another person to come through. This is just the first time we've had it in the evening, so it takes a little while for word to get out. But can everybody see my screen now? I just split it.
I can, yeah.
Okay, can you see Marin and Wesley? And Judy? You can unmute yourself in here. We don't mind, as long as you don't we don't mind if you unmute. Can you see the screen, Marin? All right, now I'm gonna set it up for you ladies. And just sort of, or did you want to tell them what it's about, Mr. Murphy?
Oh, circumstances alter cases. Well, that tells you a little bit that depending on what happens, then you can have a different view of something. So I think the main thing is, before telling it, is that there's a saying in it, achrón, and achrón means dear, or there you are. It's sort of a sort of spacer. What would you call it? An exclamation.
Yeah.
Well, now I was talking to so and so, and you know, and do you people say you know?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people put in spacers and say or but some say you know, or that's it, you know, after every second word. So a crone is meaning love or dear, or just sort of there you are, and there you are. That's it. And that's the main thing I'd say beforehand. And hopefully I would hope that the meaning comes across from the feathers talking. The father, we call it feather, is talking about his Murphy, who's a bit of a spiv. He comes along in nice dress and all, and but there's stories about him, and it just shows you the way people can look at things, and how whenever he's over there, he's one person, but whenever he's over here, he's another person, sort of thing. Now, that's maybe not very.
Well, it's from if you can imagine.
I'll just recite it only, okay?
Yeah, you did. Just recite it, but
I'll just go
okay.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
if you just give me a minute, I'm looking for something here. Just checking out something.
Did you notice that he's your relative?
I just you know, this is my introduction to Paul Laurence Dunbar, and just I found that the poems that I heard initially just appealed to me, so I'm very pleased with it. Okay. Circumstances Alter Cases by Paul Laurence Dunbar. Tim Murphy's gone walking with Maggie O'Neill. Ochron. If I was her father, I'd frown on such fooling. Ochron. I'm sure it's unfeather like darn and wrong to let a girl hear the sass and the song of every young fella that happens along. Ochron. And Murphy, the things that been said, he's been doing. 'Tis a cud that no decent folks want to be chewing. Ochron. If he came to my door with his cane a twirl, for to try to make love to you, Biddy, my girl, I would not send him away with a whirl. Ochron. They say that Gossoon is indecent and dirty. Ochron. In spite of his dressing so mighty. Ochron. Let him dress up his fancy as a king or a queen. Let him put on more wrinkles than ever was seen. You'll be sure he's no match for my little queen. Ochron. Faith, the two is coming back and their walk is all over. Ochron. 'Twas a pretty short walk for to take with a lover. Ochron. Why, I believe that Tim Murphy's a coming this way. Ah, Biddy, just look at him stepping so gay. Sure, I'd never believe what the gossipers say. Ochron. He's turned in the gate and he's coming a capering. Ochron. Go, Biddy, go quick and put on a clean apron. Ochron. Be quick as you can, for he's right at the door. Come in, Master Tim, for you're welcome, I'm sure. Ochron. We were talking to you just a minute before. Ochron. So 'tis about the father, it's about the father talking about Murphy. And Murphy was a queer fella and he was a man with the ladies. And he had heard Sasson, he was warned that the flipping Murphy wasn't going to get near his daughter. And the things that's been said of it's doing. 'Tis a cud that no decent folks wants to be chewing. Cud is, chewing the cud is when a cow chews its food, and the cow has 7 stomachs or something, and it goes all right through the stomachs to make the milk. And that's, so the cud is food for the cow. And no decent folk, nice people, good people, they don't want to be chewing that sort of cud. If he came to my door with his cane a twirl, I'd send him packing. And they say he's indecent and dirty, so he has his way with the ladies. And he's nicely dressed, and let him dress up as fancy as a king or queen. Let him put on more wrinkles. Apparently the wrinkles are to do with the shirts they wore or the cravats. And depending on how much you spent on it and how much material in it, you could have more wrinkles in it, and very flowery and whatnot. And Faith, the two are coming back from their walk. Oh, the thing about Ireland is that when you go courting, you court in the States, don't you?
Yeah, we court. We call it courting and sparking.
Okay, when you court and spark in the States, that's okay. But in Ireland, we walk out. We walk out with a girl. And if we want to propose to them, we don't say, will you marry me? That's too simple. Mm-hmm. We say, what do you think of being buried with my folk?
Oh.
So you ever hear that one before?
No. What do you think of being buried with my folks?
What do you think of being buried with my folk? That's a proposal of marriage.
Who would have thought? But it's till death do you part, right?
That's it, indeed. Tim Murphy, now he's given up on Maggie whatever it was.
Yeah.
Maggie O'Neill. He's given up on Maggie O'Neill for the Faith, the two are coming back and the walk's all over. They didn't get on so well now. He's coming this way. God, he's stepping out so gay. Sure, I'd never believe the gossipers say. He's turning in the gate. Come on, get on a clean apron. You know what a clean apron is?
Yes, a clean apron, because yes.
Yeah, you wear those things still.
Yeah, the apron. Yeah, I still wear aprons. Yeah.
Well, we don't see them so much about here now. But he's be quick as he can, for he's right at the door. The door is the door.
Uh-huh.
Come in, Master Tim, you're welcome, I'm sure. You see, so his mood has changed altogether. God, I'll get rid of this wee girl now. Now, I do not, I do not normally use a crone, and I
Yeah.
find it very hard to get a crone in there. Oh, crone. I find it very hard to get a crone in there. But
I think this might have been part of his. He wrote a lot of librettos and little short skits and little short plays. Like Alan was saying, he did a lot of musical productions, and I think this might have been part of it. And you know, and sort of like in Shakespeare, where on the side you have the choir saying something on the side. You know what I mean? Or in America they might call it the Amen Choir. So how we did it, how we did it in theater with my group, we had one of my friends, she dressed up as an indentured servant, and her daughter was standing next to her, and they pretended they were looking out the window at the sink washing dishes, and they were looking out the window, and we were out in the field. We were like the enslaved people in the field, and we were saying "Okron, Ochon." We were the ones who were saying that. You see, so you know you can do it either way. And then we had the fiddler going, and little music would play to introduce it. But we said it. We said, but we were saying Ochon. We weren't saying Okron. You're the one who taught me
crone,
that is
crone,
Okron. Yeah,
crone.
yeah, Okron. But we were saying Ochon, oh, and you know, and doing it as theater. So it was a lot of fun. That's beautiful. Thank you for breaking it down for us, um, Mr. Murphy. I'm just gonna stick with Mr. Murphy because I can't say your first name. I can't remember it. It's Pat
You
there.
don't need the Mister.
Okay, Murphy. All right, Murphy.
I know you use that term in the
Okay,
States,
Murphy.
that you
We'll
use
call
the
you Murphy.
second name just.
All right, we'll call you Murphy then, because this website is www.paullawrencedunbar.org, and it's put together by a man named Adam, and he's done a great job with sequencing the poems into different themes. So this poem topic has to do with courtship and parenthood, and then the related story is the first fruits of fame. Might have something to do with Paul Laurence Dunbar, so it helps you learn him and get to know about him.
The first fruits of fame are.
Or what? You want to see it?
You related? No, that's okay. I'll look it up.
Yeah, you can. It's pauldunbar.org.
Yeah, yes, I've been wondering about it a wee bit.
Yeah, isn't it interesting? It's a really interesting website, and that's the one we're going to use. I like it because you know we can just go off. We don't have to stick on the road. We can go off the beaten path and learn much more about him and touch on other things.
What does he have to say about the poem Blue? Have you looked at that poem at all?
Which one?
Blue, Blue.
I'll look at it. Let's look at it. This is a picture of him, Dunbar, and one of his friends, Mr. Wack, at home. This was in Ohio, and that's Dunbar on the left and Mr. Wack, his friend. This was in 1896. So it tells you a little bit about who this related story to this. Spell it, Alan. Spell the name of the poem.
As in blue, like the color.
Oh, in blue? Okay, let me see if I can find it for you. I wanted you to hear Whistling Sam too. Whistling Sam actually has music to it. And we looked up the music and the fiddler played it, but I also have a Jogo Blues by W.C. Handy that I do Whistling Sam. So I want you to hear that later on too.
Sure.
All right, so this is Blue, you say it's called?
Mm-hmm.
There it is. Okay. All right. Judy, I hope you have something to share later too. All right, now Blue. Oh, okay. This has to do, so you see it gives you the topic, the poem's topic is rain and sadness. Did you want to read it, Alan?
Yeah, well, here's how I hear it though.
Okay.
You saw that picture of him in 1896.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Now he was only 30 something when he passed on.
Yeah, 33.
And at the last part of his life, from about 1896 on until the time he died, the major music that was present in America was ragtime music. That was what the whole craze was. That was the important, incredibly important music was ragtime music.
Hmm.
And what made ragtime a particular type of interesting music was syncopation. Syncopation means kind of moving the beat, which were the African Americans knew how to do because they got it from West African drumming. That was really, they knew it really cold. You know, slaves knew it cold when they came over from Africa. They knew that cold because that was part of their musical tradition. They understood it. But the thing is, like, um, so I'm going to actually read it basically in a syncopated style.
Okay.
Okay, so that you can hear it in a certain way that that could possibly give it another meaning in terms of than the regular poetic rendering that you'd hear of the words. So it would be like this. Standing at the window, feeling kind of glum, listen to the raindrops, listen to the rangers play the kettle drum, looking across the meadow, swimming like a sea. Lord of mercy on us, what's the good to me? Can't go out a hoeing wood, and if I could go to wet for hunting, fishing ain't no good. Too much noise for sleeping, no one here to chat. The missus stand, listen, that pitter pat. Hills, hills is getting misty, valleys is getting dark. Watchdog men are howling, rider having bark. Dynamo solemn, someone at his side. Ring crow does a chuckling, days is his delight. Mandy, bring my banjo, bring the chillin' in. Coming from the kitchen, I feel sick as sin. Calling Uncle Isaac, calling Hannah too. Tain't no use in talking, child, I'm surely blue.
Yes.
So you have a different sense of how it works, and it's
Yeah.
all syncopated. And so the thing is, like, it has another rhythmical feeling when you put in syncopation and sometimes in these lyrics, which was all the rage in in um, in that music form that he was surrounded with in
Hmm.
America
Hmm.
during the last 10, 15, maybe 20 years of his life. Um, so what did that sound like to you, Oni?
It sounds just what you said. That type of music. It's like a musical, really. It sounds like a musical, a country musical. Standing at the window, feeling kind of glum.
But it's
Listen
different.
to
It's standing at the
the
window, bill. See where my
yeah. I see. I see you, Dad.
standing at the window, feeling kind of glum. Listen to the Rangers play the kettle drum. Looking across the meadow, swimming like a sea. Lord, I miss the honest was good to me.
It sounds so happy though.
It,
The way you give it, you make it sound happy.
well,
I
it
don't
is.
feel it like a happy. I feel it like it's blue.
Hmm.
I don't feel it that happy. You make it sound happy to me. I don't know. What do you think, Murphy? I
I
see you
what,
shaking your head. What do you think, Judy?
I, yeah, it sounded sort of. Even reading it, I started reading it, and I thought, yeah, and then it says sadness.
Well,
Yeah.
it kind of reminds me of like the song "Nobody Knows the Trouble I've Seen," kind of like that spirit of
The spirituals, what you mean? The Negro
yeah,
spirituals.
spiritual, yeah.
Standing at the window, feel. But I like the rhythm of it. I
well the
like the
thing well the thing is what you're probably right there. The lyrics are somewhat morose, more so than the melody, but the experiment basically was really trying to move the cadence into more of a syncopated form.
Yes.
It wasn't that particular melody necessarily that I'm talking
Yes.
about,
Yeah. No,
but
but I love it.
I was playing with the rhythmic cadence of it, so I could, this was just something that came into my head that kind of shifted it from standing at the window, feeling kind of glum, da 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 da
Well,
da
you're
da.
musical. That's why. And
Alan, why don't you?
Yeah.
I'm
Wait,
sorry.
someone has their hands raised. Marin and Wesley, they had their hands raised, I think. Did they?
I'm playing with the tempo of what you did, Alan. And if you just slow it down, you can get that sadness right in there.
Also, if you make it
So standing at the window, feeling
No,
kind of glum.
even slower.
Standing
more breaths in
at
between.
the window, feeling kind of glum. Listen to the raindrops playing the kettle drum. Looking across the meadow, swimming like a sea. Lord of mercy on us, what the good of me. That
yeah,
kind
I
of
like
thing.
it like that.
Yeah, and then take a good pause before the next part, like because it's that moaning feeling.
Can't go out of home. Wouldn't if I could.
Yes.
Drown too wet for hunting. Fishing ain't no good. Too much noise for sleeping. No one here to chat. Just must stand and listen to the better path. Yeah, that's true. If it's slowed down,
It's a rainy day. It's a very rainy day, right?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's something about the syncopation that in a certain sense makes it feel real to me, um, and makes it, I don't, there's something about, his poetry, the rhymes he's using, the words he's using, the meter, the fact that he was writing this probably during that time period where there's a lot of syncopation in the music that, so I'm kind of, I'm, for me, this is good because I don't know what to do with it. I just feel something and I'm trying to explore it in a laboratory format.
I think it's worth exploring. It's a beautiful poem. I never saw it before. Um, it is blue. It's rainy. It's a rainy day. He can't go out. I love his use of words here when he says, uh, it says, rain crow does a chuckling.
Yeah.
The rain crow, because there's a crow that goes out in the rain. I'm not sure, but is there a crow that likes rain? Does anybody know? I love that. The rain crow does a chuckling. Now that des is we're looking at the southern dialect, of course, but it's
Right,
just a chuckling. This is
right,
his delight, you
right.
know.
So
So
anyway, it's
mhm,
just an experiment with trying to see how kind of that syncopation
yeah,
of speech kind of works into his poetry and possibly may bring out the beauty of some of these words, or express them in a different way that gives further meaning to the poetry.
yeah, it's
Alan,
beautiful.
I have one more. I'm also thinking about the musicality and wondering how you would incorporate that musically. That like that slow dropping of the rain on the roof. That's also part of the music of it.
Have you met Alan before, Maren?
No. Mm-mm.
Well, Alan is a music man. He okay. Alan, did you
Yeah.
think of something on the fiddle with that?
No, not really.
Not really.
I was actually thinking more in the mandolin. The mandolin was the big instrument in
Oh, oh, I didn't know you had a mandolin. Let's hear it.
standing at the window feeling kind of glum. Listen to the rangers play the kettle drum. Looking close, I met her swimming like a sea. Lord of mercy on me, what's the good of me? Hills is getting misty, valley's getting dark. Watchbird mention howling, rather happen by. Dash is moaning silent, someone out of sight. Crows is dead and chuckling, this is his delight. Mandy, bring my banjo, bring the chillin' in. Coming from the kitchen, I feel sick as sin. Colin and Uncle Isaac, oh, one handed too. Ain't no use to talking, child of surely blue.
Woo! Did you hear me at all with him?
Yeah,
Did y'all hear me too?
a little.
I didn't know if you could or not, but this is beautiful. And you see, he's saying, bring my banjo, because he's so blue. Bring in the children, come in from the kitchen. I feel sick as sin. Call Uncle Isaac. Uncle Isaac probably play one of them string guitars, you know, them one string guitars. Call Aunt Hannah too. She gonna come and sing. Ain't no use of talking, child, I surely blue.
There you go. There
Beautiful.
you got it now. Yeah.
I love it.
So the type of music that was playing at the time was things like this.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. That's right.
And so
Uh-huh.
on. So,
Yeah.
which is syncopated, very
Yes.
syncopated, so I'm
Yes,
trying,
that early ragtime feel.
that's exactly right. So I'm trying to figure out, just like, does that belong?
Yes, it does.
Well, I think it does in
It's
certain of his
perfect.
poems.
You have such a musical rhythmic sensibility about his works. I haven't met anybody like that since I was in the small theater with Bob Jones and them. And Bob, he wasn't even a great fiddler, but he just fiddled around, and this is beautiful. I love this.
So but that's how I see it, and
Yeah.
the way, the lens that I see his poetry is really through a musician and trying to struggle to.
I'm so glad you're here with us, because that's how I love it too. I'm going to anybody else have anything to say? Have any comments? Okay, I have a treat for you. How about you, Judy?
I put one in the chat that maybe I could try.
Okay, thank you. A definition of rain crow: the black-billed or the yellow-billed cockatoo. Oh, a rain dove, a mourning dove. Okay, all right. Keep a plugging away. I love that. Who wants to do that? You? Judy, you want to do keep plugging away? That's one of my favorites too.
I can try.
In between the beats. I'm silver. Okay, hold on. This is wonderful. Thanks for helping out, Judy. I love you putting things in the chat. Thank you for helping me with this, because I can't look at everything, but I appreciate you sharing. That's what we want to do. We want to share, and we want to give everybody a chance to share. I have a poem I'm going to share with Wesley too. I'm going to do it for you, and I would love for maybe Wesley and her brother to do this poem. But let's listen to Keep Plugging Away. Alan, I'm writing down Blue. Me and you going to have a show together. I'm gonna come to Massachusetts, and we're gonna have a show. We're gonna have a whole production.
No, seriously, we could do a show of like the music and magic of Dunbar.
Yeah. Yeah, lyrics of love and laughter, the music. Yeah, we can do. Yeah, I'll come to Massachusetts. You're not far.
Well, we could do something on Zoom,
That's right. Okay, we're going to do it then. We're going to do a musical thing on Zoom together. I'm going to play, after we hear from Judy, I'm going to play you what I did with Whistling Sam. Now, Whistling Sam, I know by heart, but I'm going to let you hear the recording of it. Let everybody hear the recording of Whistling Sam. And you're going to love it too, Murphy, because it's about a young man going off to war who likes to whistle. It's one of my favorites. And the music is W.C. Handy. So let's look at Keep Plugging Away, which is another big favorite of mine. And Wesley, don't go far because I want you to see Winter's Approach. And I think you and your brother would love it. It's a lot of fun. Oh, hold on. Keep a plugging away.
Oni, thank you so much for doing this. You know, it's
Oh,
just
I'm
like,
loving this. Thank you for being here. I'd be sitting up here by myself.
you know, I didn't really know about you hardly at all until that story space about 2 weeks ago. You know,
I know. They just sent me my little money. They sent me my $60. I'm like, yay!
Yeah, it's just like I didn't know. I saw that the only thing I ever saw of you at all prior to that was this something that someone was shooting out of doors where you're just reading some poetry to some toddlers and stuff in a park or something.
Oh, yes. It was a little video. It was recent out in the park.
Yeah, and it was
Yeah.
very cute and stuff, but I had no idea about the
Yeah,
breadth
yeah,
of your
yeah.
interests and
Oh,
stuff.
no,
So,
this is
so
my,
then I came to Story Space and I was totally blown away. Is this the same
yeah,
person?
yeah. I'm so happy. This is my love. This is my muse. My Dunbar he's been my muse forever. So I'm so glad you like him too. Okay, this is called Keep a Plugging Away. And we're going to have Judy's going to read it. It's overcoming adversity, and it's a simple philosophy. In the play that I do, the mother is asking her son not to run away. Her son is saying he's sick of being a slave. He don't want to be working no more as a slave. He wants to run off. And this is the poem that I tell the little boy that please don't leave, because one day you're going to have your own farm and you're going to be glad you know how to work it for yourself. So you can't leave me now, Lias. My little son is named Lias too, after his father, right? So we're going to have Judy read this. Judy, pay attention to the commas. When Dunbar leaves out a comma, you have to say the whole sentence as a one thought, okay? We went through that earlier today. So if you don't see a comma, just say the whole thing and pay attention to the punctuation marks. And that's important for all of his poetry, that we pay attention to the punctuation marks. Go ahead, it's all yours.
I have a humble little motto that is homely, though it's true. Keep a plugging away. It's a thing when I have an object that I always try to do. Keep plugging away. When you rise in storms to quell, when opposing waters swell, it will never fail to tell. Keep a plugging away. If the hills are high before and the paths are hard to climb, keep a plugging away. And remember that success comes to him who bides his time. Keep a plugging away. From the greatest to the least, none from the rule released. Be thou toiler, poet, priest, keep a plugging away. Delve away beneath the surface. There is treasure farther down. Keep a plugging away. Let the rain come down in torrents. Let the threatened heavens frown. Keep a plugging away. When the clouds have rolled away, there will come a brighter day. All you labor to repay. Keep a plugging away. There'll be lots of sneers to swallow. There'll be lots of pain to bear. Keep a plugging away. If you got your eye on heaven, some bright day you'll wake up there. Keep a plugging away. Perseverance is king. Time its sure reward will bring. Work and wait unwearying. Keep a plugging away.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Beautiful, beautiful.
This also has a sense of work song to me, you know.
Yes.
And shouting and holler.
That's right.
You know?
That's right, Alan. Yes.
I mean, the way it's punctuated, it's almost, in a way, it's like where those shouts and hollers kind of meet sea shanties, you know? Because sea shanties also have a very similar kind of structure, you know?
Very spiritual.
Yeah, but just they keep a plugging away basically. Um, and it just actually just has that sense of really of having a sea shanty. You could see people with oars basically, you know, uh,
Working, working,
working,
moving.
moving,
Yes,
or Gandhi dances,
yes,
building the railroads,
yes.
and moving the rails,
Right.
so it has that.
What made you choose it, Judy?
Oh, I mean, I've destroyed my life plugging away. I mean, I like that, and I mean, like for me, I grew up in the country, so I could picture him like sitting if his house had a porch, which hopefully I'll see his house eventually in Dayton. But I mean, if did he have children?
No, he
Okay.
unfortunately he had no children. He was married to Alice Dunbar, who was a writer from Lake Charles, Louisiana. They met through their writing. He read her poetry in a newspaper, and she read his poetry in a newspaper, and then they corresponded. They didn't have any children, unfortunately, and they weren't married for long because he came down with the tuberculosis and started to drink a little bit too much because
Mm,
back then they didn't have cures for tuberculosis. So, it was kind of, he was very emotional and moody kind of a person. And she had a lot of objection from marrying him because she was very light skinned, very fair, and he was very dark skinned. So there was a lot of objection in the marriage from them getting married. But when I first did this piece, and I had a little boy in a preschool sitting, when I do the play, I bring a little boy in or a little girl, and they're my lias. And I had the first little boy I ever did this with was at this school called Marcus Garvey Shule in Philadelphia. And when I did this poem, recited this to him and spoke to him this piece, he started to cry. He started to cry. And it was like, I didn't realize that the children, they were so young. It was like a preschool. It was maybe first or second grade. And yeah, it wasn't it was first and second grade. It was a little school in a house. And we were sitting at the little table, and all the kids were around, like on the floor, watching. And the little boy started to cry because he really took it to heart. He took the message to heart. And the teacher later told me that, he had some problems at home, and he didn't know I was acting, or just he took me as a real person giving him this advice. So that was the first time I ever went out and done it, and I just love it. Thank you for reading it. You did it so well. I just love it.
I,
And
I, I'm hearing it in a slightly different way though.
okay, how you hearing it, Alan?
Let's go to the top, if you will.
Okay.
So where the refrain is, it's clearly call and response type of
Yes.
thing, I see,
Yes.
right?
Hmm.
So the thing is, if you extend the response to keep plugging away, keep plugging away, keep plugging away. So I've a humble little motto that is homely though true. Keep plugging away. It's a thing when I have an object I always try to do. Keep
Keep
plugging
plugging away.
away. When your rising storms to quell, when opposing waters swell, it will never fail to tell.
Keep
Keep plugging away. If the hills are high before
And the
and
paths
the
are
paths
hard to
are hard to
climb.
climb,
Keep
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 plugging
plugging
away.
away. And remember that
Keep
success has come to him who
moving
bides
by
his time.
time.
Keep
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 plugging
plugging
away.
away. From the greatest to the least, none are from the row released. Be thou toiler, poet, priest,
Keep
keep
plugging
plugging away.
Away.
So you have a different sense of it. It's I don't know whether that's the way we would never hear it. It's kind of more in line with across the pond, Well, Mr. Murphy probably can relate to my treatment of it a little bit more than possibly than
Yeah, it's almost like a military cry, you know.
what do you
It's
think of
almost
it,
like
Mr.
yeah.
Murphy?
You can
Um,
stay unmuted if you want. It's
no,
just
I thought that was great. Yeah, you know, it's I have to get used to it. I had to look at it earlier, and you know, yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah,
And
it's very encouraging, and I think
yes,
we all need to hear it nowadays. It's all, you know, you can't but think it was written 100 years ago, because we all need this kind of encouragement. I find it to be so encouraging.
yeah, that's what I like about the things that I've read already on them. That you know, it is okay. It's about historical events, but it is current in a way,
Yeah.
and they keep plugging away. You know, one of the things that I thought over the last few years was that there was too much the poor children and being kept in and not going to school and all. Now, I have sympathy with the children, and especially with ones that didn't go to college when they should have. What happened here was that a lot of children didn't go to college when they should, and a lot weren't at the college. And it was very, very hard and very nasty for them. But life is sometimes shit, you know, life is sometimes very nasty. And
Yeah.
sort of I I would be keen to sympathize with them, but to encourage them to keep plugging away, you
Yeah.
know. So from there,
Well, I wrote that down as Judy's poem, and I think Judy could, you could recite it, you could sing it, you can chant it. Keep a plugging away. You know, it could be upbeat. I'm a humble little model that is homely, though it's true. Keep a plugging away.
See,
Yeah.
I picture it more spiritual. I just can't picture him telling it that way.
But you don't want to tell it like him. Why would you want to tell it like him? He wrote the poetry to his, it's like, you know, when people write and express themselves, it's like a gift they give to the audience. You could take it however you want it. So you don't have to think in terms of trying to you know, present it like he did. But I like your thought about it being spiritual. But I still think you can do it in your own, I mean, you don't have to sing it like I did, but you can bring that across in your own style, and not necessarily try to figure out how this he wanted to do. Because sometimes, did you ever hear Langston Hughes? Langston Hughes wrote some beautiful poetry. I brought a cassette of his poetry, and when I heard him talk his poetry, he sounded like somebody, a cat in a box somewhere.
I don't want to hear about anybody else. Have enough with
Okay.
Paul
All
Lawrence.
right, but
Here,
I'm just
I want to go, but I was hoping first to hear Maren and Wesley.
yes, this is something I have for now they haven't heard it yet. So I wrote it down, Judy. I would love for you to do it. I would love for you to work on it. You can take it however you want to take it, how it feels to you, because that's going to be the beauty of the delivery is how you feel about it, right? Yeah, it's going to be how you feel about it. We can't
I'd
really,
have trouble. I love the poem. I'd have trouble memorizing it all.
well, you don't have to memorize it, because even if you want to do it, you could still read it somewhere, you know. And did you sign up for the program on June 11th? Well, it doesn't
No.
matter, because we can do other things another time. But I'm just saying, if you want to share it in your storytelling, or do it as a storytelling piece, because yeah, if you want to do it as a storytelling, you could just have the paper down on your keyboard. You could have your paper up on your screen, and just don't cover your camera, and you could still deliver it. It's not so much in reciting it, it's in delivering it, you know. And I think that you will, just like Alan had his own way. He has his, because Alan is on a musical thing. Alan's a musical person, And you can tell because he moves, and I like that he moves and he's musical.
Well, like the words to me though, like for me, this isn't a happy time for him. This humble little motto, and the hills before, and the paths are hard to climb, and remember the successes come to who bides his time. So to me, he's in a place of having faith and hoping for a better tomorrow. And today maybe wasn't the best work day or whatever, but he's holding on to that hope of the next day. And that's what I don't want to take away from the meaning of his poem and make it this happy musical thing that it's not.
Okay, well then don't. You have to be happy and comfortable with how you read into the poem. I'm just giving suggestions, but I feel you. So don't make it what it is, because we're all there. We've all felt that way. I don't think any of us here have not felt that way. So I think it's great.
Yeah. I mean, no one's going to win 50 million in the lottery and go, hey, just it was a rough day. I won 50 million in the lottery, but you just keep plugging away. It was
I get you. You're right. It's true. It's true. I see it. Like I said, the little boy cried, and it's I love it.
And no matter who you are, be you a toiler, a poet, or a priest, keep plugging away.
Right.
Whether you be a storyteller, keep plugging away.
Yes. Amen, my sister. Hallelujah. I love it. So we're going to make a note if you're interested in the poem. I think it'd be great to add to your thing. And I agree with everything you said, Judy. It's a beautiful piece, and you hit it right on the nail. Thank you so much. Yes. Okay, I'm going to share. Me and Alan are going to do some little musical thing, but I want everybody who's here to have a turn first, because we've been hanging out all day, which is a wonderful thing. Hold on. I wanted to share Winter's approach with a youth, one of our talented youth. And I love this in my Granny Goose program. I was in Louisiana with some little kids in the country in Lake Charles, and they loved it. And I said, what time of year it is? And the little boy said, it's hunting time. It's hunting time. Because their parents in Louisiana, Lake Charles, they go hunting, But I was asking him what time of year it was. And it was winter. But he didn't go there. He said, it's hunting time. It's hunting season. That's what he said. It's hunting season. So here's the setup. Here, and I'm sure you're going to love it too, Alan, and you're going to hear music in it, and Judy and Murphy, you're going to love it. The sun it shine. It's called Winter's Approach by Paul Laurence Dunbar. The sun it shine and the wind it blow. Old Brer Rabbit be a laying low. He know that the winter times are coming. The hunter man, he hunt and wait. He walk right by Brer Rabbit's gate. He know. The dog, he lick his sliver and chop, and his tongue give his mouth a go flop, flop. He knows that the winter times are coming. I don't know why they took out the words, but in the original poem, it's there. He rub his nose for to clear his scent, so to tell which way that cottontail went. He know that the winter times are coming. The hunter wife, she sit and spin a good warm coat, so to whop him in, to whop him up in. She know that the winter times are coming. She look at the skillet and she say, oh my, old Brer Rabbit got to surely fly. They know. But it's missing a verse. It's missing a verse. There's another verse that's in here that says, the little girls spin. They spin a spinning wheel. And usually I get the little girls to come up to spin the spinning wheel. But the hunter wife sat and swim, they know. So it's like, it's just a suggestion, just to give you an idea of it. The sun, it shine, and the wind, it blow. Old Brer Rabbit, I'll read it in Northern English. Old Brer Rabbit be laying low. He know that the winter times are coming. The hunter man, he walks and wait. He walk right by Brer Rabbit's gate. He know that the winter time's coming. The dog, he lick his sliver and chop, and his tongue in his mouth go flop, flop. He know that the winter times are coming. He rub his nose for the clearest scent, so to tell which way that cottontail went. He know that the winter times are coming. The hunter wife, she sit and spin a good warm coat for to wrap him up in. She know that the winter times are coming. She look at the skillet and she smile, oh my. And old Brer Rabbit got to surely fly. They know, because they're gonna cook that rabbit meat. So that's one. That's just so you can visit it again. But he has other ones on animal.
So again, there's that repetition that you have in blues music, you know, that you have in these call and responses
Yes.
you know, that seems to be all over his poetry, and a good deal of it, or at least the ones that are coming up.
Yes. And he has one called The Capture. The Capture is a good one too. It's about, oh, that's the one where the girls come up and spin. The Capture. This website is so interesting. And it's just an idea. I mean, it's something you can act out and play around with your brother, you know. They know the winter times are coming. And here's another one called The Capture. And you get the children to say, hi, ho, Miss Lady. And she's trying to catch a duck. And it's called The Capture. It says, duck come switching across the lot. Hi, oh, Miss Lady, hurry up and hide the pot. Hi, oh, Miss Lady, ducks a mighty suspicious fowl, slick as snake and wise as owl. Hold that dog, don't let him yowl. Hi, oh, Miss Lady, throw that corn out kind of slow. Hi, oh, Miss Lady, keep yourself behind the door. Hi, oh, Miss Lady, lots of food will kill his fear. Corn is cheap, but fowl is dear. Come, good ducky, come on here. Hi, ho, Miss Lady, ain't he fat and ain't he fine? Hi, ho, Miss Lady, just can't wait to make him mine. Hi, ho, Miss Lady, see him waddle when he walk. Shh, keep still, don't you talk. Got you, don't you dare to squawk. Hi, ho, Miss Lady. Again, that call and response, that rhythm. Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
You know, I think some of this stuff kind of moved over into kind of urban chant of like jumping rope rhymes and things like
Yes,
this, you know?
yes, yes,
You know, that
yes,
I think that kind of moved in, and then it kind of moved in there into rhythm and blues, and it moved in, you know, and then
yeah.
eventually into rock and roll, you know? So it's
Yeah,
like,
it's totally Americana,
yeah.
straight up Americana. It's a beautiful thing. So that's two right there. That's kind of interesting. The capture and the capture and winter's approach. Okay. What poor Will.
Miss Tony, we're just discussing Wesley's bedtime, which is officially 7:30, and I'm trying to get her to get up and go there. And she says that there's one more thing you wanted to share with a video related to it. Is that true, or is that something? These are the two poems that were important for her to hear, correct? And now she
Yeah,
can go.
these two I just thought she might like to do with her brother, maybe winter's approach. You know, he could say, they know that the winter times are coming. And she could do the verse part, you know.
Yeah.
I think that would be fun. Y'all would get a kick out of that. And the capture. Yeah, there was I did have a video, but I can't show it on this laptop. And I forgot that I can't show it on this laptop. But next time we're gonna look at Judy's video. Next week, Judy has a good video that I would love for us to watch. How long is it, Judy?
I don't think my computer is strong enough to do the internet
Okay.
YouTube.
Well, you know, there's a lot of YouTube.
But you can get the DVD on Amazon, or
Okay.
it's called Beyond the Mask is the name of the DVD.
I will get it, and I will also we can go to YouTube and look at some videos about his life as well. So how
Okay,
early
Miss
does
Oni, I'm sending
Wesley get up in huh?
Say good night.
How early does Wesley
Right.
get up in the morning?
Okay, I thought she was going to give us a
Read
reading. Yeah, are you not going to do the reading?
I don't know if she's prepared. This is her first time dropping in. I think any other
Patter will.
yeah.
She'll do it for next time, okay? And you need to get to bed too, both of you. Patter to bed, Murphy to bed, Wesley to bed.
Night, night.
Night, night.
believe you
you.
said
I'm aware.
Okay. You're so funny, Maren. Okay, so what we're going to do, me and Alan, we're going to look at playing some music to, what was it, Colored Soldiers? Which one?
I think, yeah, the Colored Soldiers was.
I want you to hear.
I know Jay Unger really well, by the way. I mean, we grew up together musically, you know.
He's in New York. Him and his wife has a summer camp.
Well, I know the Ashokan camps. I mean, I know Jay.
Yeah.
You know, I know him from when I was in my teens.
Oh, wow. Have you been to his camp to play?
I haven't been to his camp, but the thing is, that's how the title came. It was the Ashokan camps, and it was
Right.
the farewell tune that they played one
Right.
year, and then it was recorded. And Ken Burns had a copy of the record because Ken Burns and Matt Glazer, who was a great jazz fiddle player,
Mhm.
were friendly. And so Ken Burns saw their record, and at the time he was putting together the Lincoln stuff, and he said, "Oh, that's a really good fit," you know. But I've actually written some very similar Civil War type of music.
Okay, well, listen to this poem. It's called Whistling Sam.
Yeah,
Actually, did you
love
see
to
that
hear it.
poem?
No, I haven't yet.
Now, the poem, and if you get it in the book, if you get it in a Dunbar book, they actually have one of the older. See the music?
Oh yeah, but it's in a key can't even
Go.
play in. I don't even know what it is.
Can you hear it?
Yeah. Was that the music that he
Yeah,
put
it
to it?
seems like he put it in here. Oh, this is Strike the Arm While. No, this is Whistling Sam. Yeah, they put it in here, which is wonderful. Wow. You know, I was going to go get my old book. This is
Oh,
familiar.
that tune I know, right?
Yeah, everybody, we know that. That's when Johnny come marching home. Something like that.
Right.
This was actually.
Yeah, I know those tunes, right.
Yes. I love it. Let me play for you the arrangement I did. And hold on, I got to get the number. I forget what number it is. I have my heating pad on my back. Okay, let you hear this. You and Judy, listen. Marin put Mr. Murphy to sleep, put him to bed. He shouldn't have left. I guess he'll listen to it another time. Okay, this is the version I did. This is the arrangement I did of Whistling Sam.
Yeah, let me hear.
Yeah. I think I'll ask the master if I could send for my brother Sam. He went to fight for his freedom too, but he came back alive. They call him Whistling Sam. That brother could make sweet music with just the breath God gave him. I has heard of people dancing and I's heard of people singing, and I've been round lots of others that could keep the banjo ringing. But of all the whistling brothers that have lived and died since Ham, the whistlingest I'd ever seen was old Ike Bates' Sam. In the kitchen or the stable, in the field or mowing hay, you could hear that boy whistling pretty nigh a mile away, fucking up his ugly features where you couldn't see his eyes. Then you hear a sound like this from that awful pucker rise. This is W.C. Handy. When they have revival meeting and the Lord's good grace was flowing on the ground, it needs watering where the seeds of good was growing, while the others was a singing and a shouting right and left, you could hear it whistling kind of soft neath his breath. At the call for colored soldiers, Sam enlisted amongst the rest. With the blue of God's great army walked about his swelling breast. And he laughed and whistled louder in his youthful joy and glee that the government would let him help to make his people free. There was lots of ties to bind him. Pappy, Mammy, and his Dinah. Dinah, mind you, was his sweetheart, and there wasn't nary finer. But he left 'em all, I tell you, like a king he marched away, trying his level best to whistle happy, solemn, choky, gay. To the front he went and brave, kept his spirit, and his comrades said his whistling made 'em strong when they could hear it. When a saber or a bullet cut some friend of his'n down, and the time came to trench 'em, and the boys all gathered round, and they couldn't start a hymn tune. Maybe none of them would care. Sam had whistled Sleep in Jesus, and he knowed the master'd hear. In the camp, all sad, discouraged, he would cheer the hearts of all. When above the sound of labor, they could hear his. When the cruel war was over and the boys back, there were shouts and cries and along their happy tracks. And the brothers and sisters all was happy, souls and bodies both was free. Why? It seemed like the Redeemer must have been on earth indeed. They was gathered all one evening just before the cabin door, when they heard some kind of soft and sweet and low. They couldn't see the whistler, but him was clear and calm. Stood there listening, and a shouted, Sam. And then they see the little brother way off yonder through the trees with his face all in a pucker, making just such sounds as these. It's sort of skippy. It's a CD. It's sort of skip. I should have cleaned it, but you heard the gist of it, right? It's sweet, huh, Alan?
I think it sounded great. I do have some constructive criticism though.
Mm-hmm.
Is that I think because I'm also kind of an engineer or audio stuff. I did a show on public television for a couple of years, and I did a lot of the technical stuff behind it. So what I'm saying is that you would need to bring down the music underneath a little bit more so that you could really hear, and then bring it up during the middle part when you're not talking, and then bring it down again, it would really make it, because otherwise there's a struggle, especially being that it's in dialect, for me to really follow and hear. Maybe it's partly also because I'm older and I'm losing my hearing a little bit in certain ranges, so it could just be me.
Well, it was going in and out because it's an old CD, and I should have cleaned it or maybe blew out my
No,
CD player a little
no, I
bit.
know, but it's
I know
not
what you
that though.
mean.
It's just like
This
bringing
was
the levels down, so in other words, when you do a podcast or something like that, and if you're doing it professionally, you can bring the levels down and then bring them
yes,
up at particular
sure,
times. And
sure.
so if you did that a little bit more on that, the music, the WC Handy music is great for it. Um, but
Yeah, I
I
think I did
find,
a good arrangement. I mean, it was. Listen, I had to. This fella had a studio, had a little ad in the local newspaper, Cockerham Studios,
yeah,
and I called him, and he uh I live like in a kind of a rural area, and he was like, I have a studio just for myself. And I said, no, you don't understand. You have to let me in your studio. I have to do this Dunbar CD.
no, I know.
So
But the thing is that
I basically begged him. I mean, he very reluctantly did this. I had to
I
go to it, and this was 1998.
right. But the thing is, this
But
isn't
I
a cut.
understand what you're saying. You have to bring the music up. But I'm going to move on from this. I want to work. I want to do Whistling Sam with you. I
Well,
want to do it with your
but I,
fiddle.
but in general, I think you using like existing music
Yes.
is wonderful. But I would just encourage you to, and it's really not hard to do. I could do it. I could do it just with skills on my computer. You don't
But
really.
it's not a big market for me to really put that time into it. But like you said, I worked in radio, and I
But
know about the levels.
yeah,
I know
but
just exactly
Oni,
what you're saying.
Oni,
Uh-huh.
if you just did an MP3 of you just reading it and sent it to me, I could put music in back of it and read it really like in my sleep. It's a really really easy thing to do. So
If
you
if
know,
I if I get a project that's going to warrant that,
yeah,
but I don't have anything. Like I said, I'm just doing the Dunbar just to keep it fresh in my mind. I don't really have a
right.
project to warrant it. But if I
But
got a project that will warrant that, sure, I
but
would love to take you up on the offer.
But
Thank you so
but
much.
yeah, but even if you just wanted to use it like you're using this right now
Hmm.
as an alternative, I'd be glad to do that for you. All you would need to do is just simply do an MP3 with you just reading it, period, without any music behind it. And then tell me what music you're interested in, and then I get the MP3 of that and I balance it all.
I have the music. It's on this. I have the music,
Right,
and
right. So
I have the
I
music on a CD. Yeah, I don't want to do it. I'm okay. I mean,
okay, okay,
it
no
is what
problem.
it is.
Okay, yeah, 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 no problem.
And I have it on SoundCloud, and nobody's really buying it because this is this isn't not a it's not really a commercial niche or
Yeah.
niche. It's really not a commercial thing that I'm going to take time and try to sell it. I sold them after my shows, and they went like hotcakes
Okay,
after my shows.
but
But you
Oni,
could, yeah.
listen to me for a second. There was no commercial niche for Ashokan Farewell either.
That's why he let me use it. He said all I
No,
have to do
no,
is put
no.
this.
I'm trying to say he practically got a Grammy for it. The thing is, like, all it takes is someone. All it took is Ken Burns to listen to that and find value in it. All of a sudden, I think he basically, you know, financed his house off that recording, basically. Um, and off the money that he made from Ken Burns.
Yes.
I'm saying that in terms of a niche, you know, that stuff is, you should always try to figure out just whatever you're doing. I think my sense for my own music is try to do as best as I can, regardless of what the commercial prospects are of something. And you never
Yeah,
know.
I think Judy left. She said, "Thank you so very much. Good news. I need to go, but thank you. It's been fun." Okay. Yes, that's true, but you don't understand. I'm like moving forward. I'm not like still stuck here. I'm looking at doing something. If I do anything, I'm looking to do some theater stuff with some of his pieces, like I said, and probably portray his mother or his wife and have
So-
fun, do it
so-
that way.
so
But
let me-
I understand what you're saying, but that was the mix that the fella gave me because he really wasn't, I paid him, but he really wasn't that interested in giving me correct levels. And that it is what it is there, but I appreciate your feedback.
So let me play you some music that might fit in the back of some Dunbar stuff. I don't know, but
Okay,
are you up for that?
sure. I was playing you Whistling Sam so that you could give me some new music. I just
Okay.
want you to hear what I had already done, but
Okay.
I don't like to get stuck in a rut either. I like to, experiment. Who that knocking at the door? Why, Ike Johnson. Yes, for sure. Come in, Ike. I's mighty glad you come down. I thought you was mad at me about the other night and was staying away for spite. Say now, was you mad for true when I kind of laughed at you? Speak up, Ike, and express yourself. Tain't no, I like the melody that walking you doing. Mm-mm. Don't stop.
Okay. So,
I just,
but how did that feel?
I was trying to work with it, but you stopped. I
Okay.
like the melody of it. This one is called Encouragement. You want to hear it first?
Sure. Yeah.
Who that knocking at the door? Why, Ike Johnson. Yes, for sure. Come in, Ike. I's mighty glad you come down. I thought you's mad at me about the other night and was staying away for spite. Say now, was you mad for true when I kind of laughed at you? Speak up, Ike, and express yourself. Tain't no use of looking sad and making out you's mad. If you're going to be so glum, wonder why you ever come. I don't like nobody round to just shut they mouth and frown. Oh, now, man, don't act a dunce. Can't you talk? I told you once. Speak up, Ike, and express yourself. What you come here for tonight? Body think your head ain't right. I's done all I can do. I dress particular just for you. Reckon I better woe my old ragged calico. After all the pains I took, can't you tell me how I look? Speak up, Ike, and express yourself. Bless my soul, I most forgot telling you about Tiddly Scott. Don't you know come Thursday night she won't marry Lucius White? Miss Lai say I always was a heap sight likelier than her, and she'd get me something new if as I wants to marries too. Speak up, Ike, and express yourself. I could marries in a week if and the man I wants would speak. Tiddly's presence'll be fine, but they wouldn't equal mine. Him what gets me for a wife'll be proud. You bet your life. I's had offers and some ain't quit, but I hasn't married yet. Speak up, Ike, and express yourself. Ike, I loves you. Yes, I does. You's my choice and all as was. Laughing at you ain't no harm. Go away, man. Where's your arm? Hug me closer. There. That's right. Wasn't you an awful sight having me to beg you so? Now ask what you want to know. Speak up, Ike, and express yourself.
That's great. Wow. So musically, I don't see it kind of as an undercurrent. I see it possibly as interspersed just a little bit in between like two verses.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how that would work, because sometimes that stops the flow of the poetry. But um,
I liked what you were playing earlier. That little do. That was pretty. I mean, how you. Who that knocking at the door? Why, I Johnson. Yes, for sure. Either way, I think it's workable. Do you
well, the
like it,
thing,
Maren?
I was just trying to. I didn't want to interrupt you guys, but I'm fading too. I need to go to bed, so I'll see you in the next go round.
Okay. What time is it by you?
It's 8:30.
Oh, it's just 8:30 here too.
Yeah.
But you get up early in the morning with the children, right?
I just don't get enough sleep
I,
for other
I haven't
reasons
getting
too.
either. I haven't been getting enough either, but I understand. Did you like the poem?
Yes. It's been wonderful to hear so many tonight. I'm getting such a different sense of
Okay, good.
a
That's
better.
all.
Yeah. I still, I still really like the "We Wear a Mask." I know it's been overused, but it's so relevant to our times. So I'd like to still work with that and the idea of pandemics, because TB is actually the biggest killer, and it still is. And coronavirus has just killed more people than the Spanish flu. So, but TB is far ahead of both of those. So I just think it's interesting to think about his own disease and wearing masks and the healthcare system, healthcare response to that, and pandemics in general. So I'd like to play with that with this
I
piece.
would love for you to do that. That would be great.
Okay.
I'm going to write it down I'm going to write it down on your name for it, Maren. Yeah, I have. Okay, yes, I will put that in so no one else will take it. Are
Mary,
you
nice to
going to
meet you.
participate in June 11th?
Yes, sure. And I'll get Wesley to, I'm sure Wesley's interested as well. So you can put her down too.
Okay, and maybe there's another little poem. If those two are not if she's not really excited about it, there's another little poem called Critters Dance.
Okay. I told her, I think she's pretty good about like finding her way through a website. So she'll just go look and read a
Yes.
bunch and see which one. And I'll tell her about the critters one. That
Yeah.
I think actually that would be a great one for Bernard. I'll tell him about that one.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
much love
Thank
to
you.
everyone. Have fun.
All
this
right.
time.
Thank you so much for dropping in.
Okay, bye.
Take care. All right. See ya. Have a great week. So what you want to do, Alan?
Well, I don't know. It's up to you. I'm still awake.
I'm still awake too.
So the thing is, we could try to figure out maybe my suggestion on this poem. Don't go off this poem.
Okay.
But the thing is, like, let's try just to see what happens.
Okay.
If I play a little intro to it, and then
Okay.
you do two verses, and then I come back in for a short piece, and then you go back into the poem. Just
But
to
I'm
see
going to need when you need me to stop because we don't want to. You're going to have how long you want me to go because.
Okay, so what I'll say is I'll say now, okay, after I'm done, and then you could do the. In other words, um, mm,
I think.
I think two verses at a time, and then stop. Just I know it's artificial; it may not work in terms of the poem
Okay. Well,
itself.
let's see. So I'm going to stop at. I'm going to go down to Who that not going? I'm going to go down. You come down. I thought you was mad at me. I thought you was mad at me about the other night and was staying away for spite. You want me to stop there?
No, I would go. This is a whole verse,
Yeah,
right?
go. That's what I'm saying. You want me to do the whole verse? I think that makes more sense.
Two whole verses, and then stop.
All right, I'm gonna do the whole verse on all of them.
Right now, yeah, right now, it's artificial, but just to get a sense of what happens as we come in and out of the music is what I'm
Hmm.
trying to say.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'm going to start basically. Okay.
Okay. Who that knocking at the door? Let me know when you want me to come in now.
No, that was fine, and then
Is
I'm
that
going to fade out there basically, and then I will
okay?
come back. Okay.
Okay. All right. That's what I need to know. Who that knocking at the door? Why, Ike Johnson. Yes, for sure. Come in, Ike. I's mighty glad you come down. I thought you was mad at me about the other night and was staying away for spite. Say now, was you mad for true when I kind of laughed at you? Speak up, Ike, and express yourself. Ain't no use of looking sad and making out you's mad. I like the music under it. I like
Yeah.
the I like the if you give me the rhythm, I can hold it. I can ride that
Well,
rhythm.
I could go down underneath you so that
Yeah, if
so
you give me the rhythm, I can work with the pace. I can keep pace with you.
okay. You want to try it again?
Yeah. Who that knocking at the door? Why, Ike Johnson. Yes, for sure. Come in, Ike. I's mighty glad you come down. I thought you's mad at me about the other night and was staying away for spite. Say now, was you mad for true when I kind of laughed at you? Speak up, Ike, and express yourself. You got to no, you got to answer me with the music. You got to answer me. You got to say, yeah. When I kind of laugh at you, you got to come back. Speak up, Ike, express yourself. You got to come back. You got to express yourself. Do, do, do. Ain't no use of looking sad and making out you's mad. If you're going to be so glum, wonder why you ever come. I don't like nobody round that just shut their mouth and frown. Oh, now, man, don't act a dunce. Can't you talk? I told you once. Speak up, Ike, and express yourself. At least, what you come here for tonight? Body think your head ain't right. I's done all I can do. It's a blues. It's almost like a blues.
It is blues.
Yeah, it's a blues. I done all I can do, dressed particular just for you. And then she said, reckon I better woe my old ragged calico. After all the pains I took, can't you tell me how I look? Speak up, Ike, and express yourself. Bless my soul. Bless my soul. I almost forgot telling you about Tiddly Scott. Don't you know come Thursday night, she gonna marry Lucius White. This lie say I always was a heap sight likelier than her. And she'll get me something new if I wants to marry Stu. Speak up, Ike, and express yourself. You're really giving her voice. You're like her backup singer. I could marry in a week if the man I want should speak. And this presents will be fine. but they wouldn't equal mine. That's right. Because you see, him what gets me for a wife will be proud. You bet your life. I's had offers. Some ain't quick, you know, but I hasn't married yet. Do do do. Speak up, I can express yourself. Yeah. Ike, I loves you. Yes, I does. Use my choice in all his words. Laughing at you ain't no harm. Go away, man. Where's your arm? Hug me closer. There. That's right. Now, wasn't you an awful sight having me to beg you so? Now, ask what you want to know. Speak up, Ike, and express yourself. That's right. That's good for the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the thing is,
Uh-huh.
this
Uh-huh.
basically, this is the mandolin. Mandolin, basically, you know, like Scott Joplin was the big ragtime piano guy.
Yeah.
Well, The Entertainer, one of his famous pieces,
Yeah.
he dedicated to the guy, to the head of the mandolin orchestra of his town. Mandolin was the big instrument, you know. So
Okay.
we associate like piano with ragtime, but
Right.
ragtime and blues, like towards the end of Dunbar's life, mandolin, like I'm playing now, was played in, you know, by but a fair number of the black blues players played
Right.
mandolin, you know, and played like I'm playing, you know.
Right. Right.
So
Yeah.
um,
I
so
love
and
it. It sounds great. Let's write it down. It's something we can work on.
yeah, it's tricky, but the thing
Yeah.
is, I think we could make it work, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
by
Yeah, it's tricky.
moving.
It's not easy. It's tricky, but I think once the music has to answer her. The
Right,
music.
but the thing is, you know, what you need to do,
Mm-hmm.
you have to find out the obvious breaks in the poem that you would like an interval of the mandolin brought up, um, so that it's more audible. And but the thing is, like if I'm playing a blues, when you're done with whatever the verse you are, I won't automatically be at a place necessarily that I can answer her. You know, it depends on where I am in the blues, you know, if I'm playing
But
behind.
I think once you know the poem, you'll know how to answer her. You have to be more familiar with the poem. Once
Yeah,
you get
that's
with
true.
Yeah,
That's true
when
too.
you
That
learn
is
the
true too.
poem and know what the poem is really saying, then you're going to be able to feel how you want to respond.
No,
Because
absolutely.
yeah, so
Absolutely.
I think that's going to be more work on your part
That's right.
because we can just do the whole each paragraph. Who that knocking at the door? Speak up, I can express yourself. That's all one thought. And there's
Right.
a lot of feelings going on in there, okay? The feeling he comes to the door, you know, or you might want a heavier beat of him knocking on the door. He's knocking on the door to get in, that urgency, you know. And who that knocking at the door? You know, so you have to figure out how you want your sound to connect with the words. You
No.
could, you know, like
So
who's that knocking at the door? So it could be like maybe you
so
could just beat on the instrument and
I
then go
can.
into
Okay. Right.
yeah,
So you do it. He's not knocking at the door.
yeah.
Do it.
I gotta
Uh,
hear it.
No, no. You start playing. Right.
Who that knocking at the door? No, you have to knock first.
Okay.
Who that knocking at the door? Why, Ike Johnson. Yes, for sure. And he's talking. He's saying, "Can I come in? Come in, Ike. I's mighty glad you come down. I thought you was mad at me about the other night and was staying away for spite. Say now, was you mad for true? So say now, was you mad for true when I kind of laughed at you? And maybe you might not be so heavy, it'd be lighter. Was you mad for true when I kind of laughed at you? She embarrassed him. She embarrassed him. She made him feel bad. You know, she laughed at him in front of other people.
Yeah, it's going to take a while to really,
Yeah.
because I
Okay,
have
we can
to.
work on it. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's no rush.
Right.
But I
Yeah.
think it's a beautiful piece, and I would love to just move forward on that and see maybe we could do it, have a little fun with it. Which one are you definitely going to do for June 11th, though?
Uh, the one that I feel is a. Um, Wait 1 second.
Oh no, I wrote it down here somewhere. That's why I was writing, trying to get my notes together.
Jump back, honey, jump back.
Ah, yes.
That's
That
the one
is a Negro love song. Okay. Are you gonna play the fiddle?
No, jump back. Yeah, jump.
You're just
No,
gonna recite
jump
that.
back, honey, jump back. Yeah, it's the Negro love song, and that's the one I'm playing fiddle on. Right. Right.
Okay, so I got you down for that. That'll be great. Jump back, honey, jump back.
Now,
Okay, cool.
blue was also something that I could do.
I
That
do have you down for blue. But if we
well,
don't, you know, it's not just for, we can do a program anytime we want. We can do our own program. Paul Dunbar's public domain, and they're encouraging people to do programs. So
well,
we
we
don't
could.
have to just wait until June 11th. We can do whatever we want really up until 2023. You know, God willing, we'll still be kicking. So you know, it's an experiment, but it's a beautiful experiment because a lot of people aren't familiar with him. I'm glad you showed up in Story Space. Uh, if you go to my YouTube channel, you'll get to see Bob Jones, and you'll see Jen A, and you'll see some of my other friends who I used to do his work in theater with.
So, did you see? Have you seen any of the stories that I've told at all?
I don't think so.
I I actually had a Mr. Cohen from Story Space take a video of my whole thing that I did at
Where'd you
Story
put it?
Space.
On your YouTube?
Yeah, I could send it to you.
No, I'll go to your YouTube and
No, no,
Google
no,
it.
no. Well, I don't know whether I put
Are
it
you
on
on there with the
public.
other fiddle and stuff?
Oh, I have a lot of fiddle stuff on YouTube. Yeah.
Yes.
But I don't know whether I made that public. You know, like
Oh,
on
I
you
see what you
when you
mean.
when you do stuff on YouTube, you could make it either public to everyone or you could just
Well, just
say
send
that you
it
need
to
the
me.
link.
Send it
I'll
to
send it
me.
to you.
Yeah, send it to me. Yeah,
So you
I
have
know
an
what you mean.
so you have an idea what my storytelling is
Yeah,
like.
I understand. I know what you mean because um I'm just doing for Story Crossroads and for Artist Standing Strong. I'm not even going to perform. I'm just going to host. I'm just going to be the one who introduce everybody else.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
you
So,
know, so
but
so so it's not like I'm going to perform, but that doesn't mean I can't do another program or do my own thing too.
yeah, but some of the stuff, a lot of my story stuff has to do with is kind of Jewish related
Okay.
because that's my ethnicity.
Yes.
And but also I have, I'm a musician and I've been around a long time, and I'm
Yeah.
also yodeler, you know.
Yes. You got to get with my husband. He whistles.
Oh, great. Oh, that's awesome. So
Okay.
does he do when you do Whistle and Sam, does he whistle?
He's never done it. When I first got into Dunbar, he was busy working. You know, he was working, and he retired at 60, but he was working all the time. And then by the time he retired to come with me on storytelling things, I wasn't doing that much Dunbar. I was just doing storytelling. So
Right.
no, he hasn't whistled. I'm going to have to get him to do whistling, Sam. That's a good idea. I
So
think.
I have a friend of mine who's a world champion whistler. You know?
Uh-huh. I believe you.
So in fact,
Uh-huh.
you know, there's kind of really crazy yodeling stories. I ended up doing a skit.
Uh-huh.
My yodeling is in back of a Jimmy Fallon skit
Okay, okay, okay.
that has like almost 8 million views on it.
Where is it? Is it on it's on YouTube?
Yeah,
On your channel?
yeah. It's
I'm
just
gonna,
like,
I'm gonna look at it.
well, here, let me tell you the story because the story is kind of outrageous.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna close down this stop share.
Okay,
All right, hold on. And I'm gonna stop recording.
yeah,
Oh, okay. Is that okay?
sure.
Unless you want to see it. Okay.